I did my keto grocery shopping today, so I wanted to take a moment to show you guys what I picked up at the grocery store and talk about just a few quick recipes. So let's get started and jump right in. Thank you so much for joining today. So the first thing that I have here is some avocados, and these are a staple for me. I eat avocados every day, so I have 2 bags of avocados. And I went to Walmart again because I'm comparing Walmart to H-E-B and some of the other grocery stores to see if I'm actually saving money doing my keto shopping at Walmart. And so far, I am seeing some results with that. And they have really good looking vegetables. The Walmart I've been shopping at has good looking vegetables and fruits. So I've been pretty happy with those as well too. For olive oil, gotta have olive oil. And of course coconut oil, gotta have coconut oil. Nice size of coconut oil from Walmart. And I picked this one up last time I was at Walmart. As you can see, it's about half gone. But a nice size for about the same price of a smaller one that you can get at H-E-B. So pretty happy with that score at Walmart on the coconut oil. And it is organic. It's the Great Value brand. Cauliflower. So gotta have cauliflower because you can make a substitute for rice with cauliflower. You can make your cauliflower rice. And you can season it however you want to season it, but it will be a substitute for your rice because you definitely want to cut rice from the diet when you are on the keto lifestyle. I do have the butternut squash because I make the pancakes, and the pancake recipe is butternut squash. I'm going off memory here, so it's butternut squash, eggs, and almond butter, and then it is cooked in a little bit of drizzled coconut oil on the griddle, and that's how I make the keto pancakes. And I can post that recipe. I think it's on my Instagram page. I'm pretty sure that recipe's on my Instagram page, but I can post that recipe for you guys if you'd like it. Berries. My berries are my strawberries, and they had some absolutely beautiful strawberries at Walmart today. I absolutely love their strawberries. And even my son commented on the strawberries. And then some raspberries, and the raspberries were really good looking too. The raspberries were expensive. It's like $5 for that big pack of raspberries. I love them. It's one of my treats that I kind of spoil myself with is raspberries. So I did splurge on them. And I get cilantro because it's great to season my cooking with. So I love cilantro and I love to cook with it. So I have some cilantro. And asparagus, as you know, if you have took a look at the book, and if you've got your book that Stop Bitching, Eat Keto, Lose Weight, then you know that asparagus is one of the staples. So you definitely want to have your asparagus. And another vegetable that I season with is jalapenos. So I do have some jalapenos. I have some celery. And my spinach. I love spinach. I cook with spinach and I eat raw spinach. And it is a absolute staple for me. I love spinach salad, and I just drizzle my spinach salad with olive oil and a dash of balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar does have a little bit of sugar in it, so you're going to want to watch that. Here's a great keto snack, olives, and I picked up a jar of these because I was almost out of olives. So that is definitely a great keto snack. Eggs are a staple for me. I have an egg and an avocado every morning drizzled with the olive oil and a little bit of the vinegar. And the vinegar that I use, because I actually pickle my eggs, and I pickle my eggs in the vinegar, the apple cider vinegar with the mother. And yes, Walmart has a brand of it, so you don't have to buy the Bragg's, which is almost twice the price. And so I do get the Walmart brand of this particular vinegar. And so I was talking about pickling the eggs. So I pickle the eggs in the vinegar, just a tiny bit of beet juice, because beets are not keto. And most vegetables that are grown in the ground are not keto vegetables. So therefore, because they will have a lot of sugar in them. So most vegetables, even though beets are a superfood, I don't completely eliminate them from my diet because they are a superfood. So I use a small amount of beet juice, and I'll just put them in my Ninja, and then use the vinegar with it, and then I pickle my eggs, and I pickle a whole dozen for the week. And my son and I both actually eat those for breakfast, and I eat the avocado with mine. And then the next thing that I have, so I'm sharing recipes here at the same time I'm doing my grocery list. So the next thing I have is chicken, and I buy the chicken thighs. I just really like thighs, and I like thighs and legs. And so I buy the chicken thighs with the skin on, and the reason that I buy them with the skin on is because the skin is that wonderful nutrient that you hear us talk about a lot, is collagen. It actually has collagen in it, and it has that great healthy fat in it. So buy it with the skin, cook it with the skin, eat the skin. It is good for you, and I love the way it tastes. I'd rather have the skin than the chicken. And then I have some country style pork ribs. I'm a pork eater. Some people out there are not pork eaters, but I love my pork, so I have some country style ribs there, and I'll do those on the grill. And I don't have any beef this time. I am not a big beef eater, and one of the reasons is because if it's not grass-fed beef, then it causes me to have some inflammation. And grass-fed beef is a little bit more expensive than just regular beef. And you never really know, which you never really know with any of it what you're getting. But the red meat does seem to cause me to have a little bit more inflammation and a little bit more pain. So I avoid the red meat, but I do buy ground beef, and I do buy steaks. And occasionally I do have a steak. I do try to do grass-fed. Now let's talk about why it is that grass-fed is better. So what makes a difference there? Honestly, when you have grain-fed animals, the grain actually, it changes the amount of omega-3s versus omega-6s. And I think I have a post on Facebook about this. Omega-3s versus omega-6s, make sure you get the right omegas. And omega-3s, what we're looking for. So grain-fed animals or grain-fed beef is gonna be higher in omega-6s, and omega-6s can actually cause inflammation, whereas omega-3s actually reduce inflammation. So you want to eat foods that are high in those omega-3s. And another one of my favorites that's high in omega-3s is the walnuts, which I did a treat earlier this week that I did over the weekend. I showed you with the walnuts and the coconut. And so as you can see, it says excellent source of omega-3s right there. So that's one of my favorites. And then some more snacks. I do have pecans. I've already been into those, by the way. Cheese. I went with some cheddar cheese this time, and let's talk about cheese. The cheddar cheese actually has 0 carbohydrates and 0 sugars, so I'm loving that. My string cheese, love my string cheese. The string cheese is a great snack. It does have actually 1 carb. Well, it's not that big of a deal, but they do add up. So we do have to watch that. And broccoli is one of my staples, so I do buy the broccoli heads. And then ground turkey is a big thing for me. I do a lot of ground turkey. I keep it cooked most of the time in the fridge. And you can make spaghetti with it. You can make so much with it. One of the things that I love to do with it is make the keto pizza, which the keto pizza is made with a ground turkey crust. So I take the turkey, I spread it out onto my pizza pan and put it in the oven and bake it about halfway. It's going to have a lot of grease on top of it and that fat, which is good for us, but it's difficult to make your pizza with it with the fat on there. So I do take a little bit of the fat off of there, and then I put my pizza toppings onto it. Otherwise it'll float your pizza toppings if you don't take the fat off. So I put my pizza toppings, my sauce, and do my pizza as I normally would a homemade pizza with all the wonderful ingredients like mushrooms and spinach and onions and pepperoni and all the wonderful things, mozzarella cheese. And so you have this great, really high protein pizza and none of the cheat and the carbs and the guilt. So that's what I do with ground turkey. I have 2 different packages of ground turkey here. The other thing that you can do with ground turkey, and that's why that I have this item, this is iceberg lettuce, and which has no nutritional value whatsoever. But it's great because it has no carbs. And so you can cook your ground turkey or ground beef, whichever one you prefer, and put it in lettuce wraps. And so that's why I buy the lettuce, because I do lettuce wraps, and you can season your meat with various different things. You can do Asian seasoning, you can do Mexican seasoning, and just make your wraps. You can make tacos if you want to season your meats with Mexican seasoning, taco seasoning, fajita seasoning. You can also take cheese and put your cheese in the skillet and let it melt. And then once it melts and cools enough for you to be able to handle it, you can use that as your tortilla. So you can actually have cheese tortillas, and it's your substitute for the taco shells or the tortillas. And then, of course, as you know, my love for chocolate. So I have my Ghirardelli chocolate bars, 100% cocoa, unsweetened. And that's why I keep the monk fruit around. I have my black pepper for my turmeric, my real butter. So definitely you cannot live on margarine. You throw the margarine out, it's so bad for you. And then I have some bell peppers here. I love the red bell peppers, but they have a little bit more carbs in them, so I do go for the green bell peppers. The green bell peppers are a little bit stronger for me. I prefer the red ones, but I generally do go for the green ones just because they do have less carbs in them, and they're a little bit less sweet. So what do I do with those? So I can make stuffed bell peppers with the ground turkey. And also, one other thing, hold on, that I already put in the freezer, 2 other items that I put in the freezer already. So my brats. So you can take sausage. I buy the Johnsonville sausage. You just want to watch the package, check the package, make sure that it's not got a bunch of carbs in it. And you can take sausage and you can either combine it with the turkey or the ground beef and mix that and do the stuffed bell peppers with that meat. You can also, I like the brats too. I like to put them on the grill, and they do have 2 grams of carbs in them. These are the beer brats, and they have 1 sugar in them. So they're still okay. You can do those. And then I have some boneless pork chops that I will put on the grill or fry up in the skillet with some vegetables and spinach. I also have zucchini You can make zucchini French fries. I like to slice the zucchinis really thin, and I'm pretty sure I have a recipe, this recipe on Instagram. I like to slice the zucchinis thinly and put them on a pan and drizzle a little bit of olive oil on them. You can put the slices on and turn them over. Sprinkle with a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of black pepper, and then sprinkle with Parmesan cheese. Another one of my favorites, Parmesan cheese. Sprinkle with Parmesan cheese, bake in the oven, and they make a wonderful substitute for French fries. That's my substitute for French fries. And my son loves those too, so there's something to be said there. Miracle Whip or a mayonnaise. Just check the labels out there. I grabbed Miracle Whip. It does have 2 grams of carbs. Mayonnaise may actually have a little bit. May actually only have 1 gram, and there's 1 sugar in this. But you can cook with mayonnaise. You can coat your chicken in it and put it on the grill, and it makes your seasoning stick to it. And so when you cook, it gives a little bit of added flavor if you're looking for something to marinate your meats in. And of course, the cream cheese spread. I love the cream cheese spread because you know I'm going to have my cheesecake substitute there. And the cream cheese does have 2 grams of carbs in it. This is the Great Value, again, the Walmart Great Value, and it has the it does have 2 sugars in it. And then Parmesan cheese. And I do have peanut butter. I normally buy H-E-B's fresh ground peanut butter because I know what's in that, and if I do the fresh ground peanut butter, I know that there's no sugar added to it, whereas jar peanut butter has sugar added to it. This one's not too bad. It does have 3 sugars in it, 3 grams of sugar, and it does have 6 grams of carbs. So you want to watch the peanut butter on the keto diet. You can have it in moderation, but it's not one of the best things to do unless you are going to do the one that doesn't have the sugar where you just grind it yourself. But still, you want to watch the grams of carbs. Nuts, everybody gets a little confused and they think they can have nuts as their snacks. You can, but you do have to moderate it. There's a lot of carbohydrates in a cup of pistachios. Even if you take the fiber away, you're still left with, I want to say 1 cup has 21 grams. I'm going off the top of my head here, but it's in the book. And so that is my grocery shopping that I did today, and I hope some of the recipes that I've talked about helps you guys as well. I'm getting ready to have me a little dessert, a sweet treat here, and that sweet treat is my spoonful of cream cheese that I have dipped in my 100% cocoa powder, and I've topped with 2 raspberries and a drop or 2 of the monk fruit sweetener. So I'm getting ready to have that little snack because I was running on empty at the grocery store, and I hate going to the grocery store hungry. So speaking of that, eating out. Let's talk about eating out next time we get together and see if there are some strategies that we can come up with to help you when you go out to eat and still stay on your keto diet. I'm Penny with Stay Body Positive, so you can reap the reward.